I'm supposed to. I keep forgetting to. I will at the hotel tomorrow night.
But you guys have an area that you're planning on finalizing?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you tell us?
I believe somewhere in Florida. Shouldn't be as hot that time of year, so we should be all right.
D was used a lot, almost mainly on third downs against the Steelers. Do you anticipate that, that's kind of going to be the way you guys use him going forward?
We'd like it not to be going forward, but with him coming off this injury and not getting enough practice time in, that's why we've been smart. I do believe he's better right now than he was at that time. We had to do some things over the bye week that he had to recover from, so hopefully he'll be fully recovered by Monday night and can play a little bit more, but we're taking that day by day.
You have an opportunity to go 4-0 and put a stamp on the early part of the season as very successful. I mean, over the last 2 years, just given everything that you guys went through, was there ever any doubt that you had that you wouldn't be in this position at some point?
Well, I mean, the NFL is hard. Whether you feel you're more talented than most of the teams or less talented, it's still extremely hard. So, I mean, we've won our first 3 games, but that makes me feel good about those 3 games. But I mean, there's a long way to go in the season, so it doesn't do much for me just starting 3-0. We knew when we came here it was going to be tough, just where we were at when we got here. We knew that would take some time. We expected the first year to go a little bit how it did, not exactly how it did, but we knew the second year would be tough too. Expected to win more games than we did, but that is how we expected. We expected to be more competitive in year 3, and we do feel like we are right now. But being more competitive still doesn't mean anything. You got to play good football. It's always tough, and it's going to be a really tough Monday.
With some of the turnovers that Jimmy's had the first few games, how do you see him reacting to that, knowing just how important that is, like going forward, that you might not be able to get away with them, so to speak?
He knows how important it is. What I like about him is, he knows, and we all feel the same, that you got to do everything you can to avoid a turnover. But just sitting there and holding onto the ball it's very tough to win that way also. So he's very cognizant of it. Still, bad things do happen. I do like that he's still not scared to let it rip. But, when it goes into last week and stuff, or 2 weeks ago, I know we had a ton of turnovers, but two of his throws I thought were decent throws. They just got tipped. And, the center quarterback exchange and the 2 fumbles. So I know we got a lot of them last week, but, I didn't blame Jimmy for any of them.
What happened on the center exchange?
It feels like a month ago. I don't think he got it all. You could see it a little bit on the TV copy. You never know as a coach, and because you can't see, so you just ask the center and the quarterback always, and neither of them tries to throw each other under the bus, so they always just say it was me. But you could see a little bit of it. I don't think the ball got up to him as much as it usually does.
We've talked about the technical difficulty of some of the blocks, especially Juice and George Kittle have put on tape. Are those blocks that, and plays that you're able to call now versus, 2 years ago when those guys were newer in the system? Are you more confident in calling plays that require those kind of blocks?
Yeah, definitely. And you're more confident in running them in all types of looks. There are plays we've always ran before here and since we've gotten here, but the more you run things with good players, the better everyone gets. And the 2 guys you just mentioned are extremely talented, very tough. But they get after it all week in the run game, and I know there are 2 guys who definitely want the ball and want to have a lot more fun in the pass game. But those guys enjoy blocking, just like they enjoy catching touchdowns, and that's usually when you have that mentality, you're that talented, you're that smart, and you get the reps, you always get better.
How was Jordan Matthews at practice this week?
He was good. We messed with him because he had real fresh legs. Which was good for him, especially coming out compared to training camp. So he looked real good. Jordan's a pro, takes care of himself, so he came in great shape and didn't miss a beat.
So is he in a position where you'd feel comfortable having him active?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely comfortable with that.
The Browns defense has gotten a lot of pressure out of opposing quarterbacks, several sacks, 24 quarterback hits. How can you as a as an offense, scheme to go against that?
I mean, just the goal always, you try not to become one-dimensional. When you have that type of talented pass rushers, if you are one-dimensional, I don't care who's blocking them, they're going to get to your quarterback. And then the other ways people get to the quarterback are blitzes. So when that happens, you are going to take some hits sometimes. So that's part of the game. But also, the more you can make them pay when they blitz, the less you get. So it's a little give and take with both.
Being productive in the run, first and second down, really important for that.
Extremely important. But it's also just as important to do good on third down because you need to stay out there to do good in the run game to get runs called. So if you have short drives and stuff, it's extremely hard to get that run game going. So the key to running the ball a lot of the times is depends on how good you're passing and vice versa.
How healthy is Nick now compared to what he was maybe a few weeks ago? And how much did the bye week help? And do you envision him playing more snaps now because that ankle is?
Yeah, I do because I mean I don't think he was in the training room nearly as much this week. I know he was full go for practice throughout the week, so I believe that was his first week like this since he's been here or since he got hurt in training camp. So he's definitely doing better.
You guys talked in the offseason about the expectation for the defensive line. Excuse me, to be dominant given the resources put in those guys to be able to take over games. Have you seen that? And obviously they've been effective. Have you seen that? Is there more to come, do you think, from that?
Yeah, I've seen that they've been the strength of our team in 3 games, but I don't see them close to a finished product yet. We got some talented guys who also are really good football players. A number of them have been battling some injuries, so we do have some depth there, which has allowed them to continue to be the stronger part of our team. But I think those guys are just getting started. If they can continue to stay healthy, I think they'll only get better.
Juice scored his first career touchdown, I think, while you were with Cleveland against the Browns. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a fake screen to the right and then one to the left that got to Juice. I believe it was that. Or maybe the other way, but yes, I do.
Do you remember his celebration?
No, I don't.
He did the LeBron.
And now that you say that, I do remember that. I almost just said a bad word again, but it wasn't that cool for him to do that in Cleveland.
At what point did you identify him as a player that you really liked, that you would covet for?
I noticed him a lot that year because we were in the division. Our tape crossed over all the time. I knew Kubiak was there the first year that they used him, so I got to see him on a lot of stuff that we like to do, and we noticed him right away. And been waiting for a while for him to become a free agent. That's why we went after the offensive weapon, got him.
What's the significance of the staff wearing all those shirts today?
Mainly a bunch of just keeping us close together. There's a number of things. I mean, IGYB, I got your back, but some different messages for us that important to the guys in house that kind of want to keep it a little bit in house.
Is that like a Friday practice thing?
Not always. I mean, we don't hand out. This is the first time we've handed out shirts this year. But today definitely is Friday to us, and usually we do. If we are going to do something like that, we do it today.
Jimmy's been the most blitzed quarterback in the NFL so far this season. How much do you view that as a benefit that, he's had to deal with that much pressure and, especially after his injury?
I mean, pressure can be a very good thing and it can be a tough thing. I mean, pressure sometimes keeps both teams in the game. I think Tampa Bay came out and pressured us almost every down, and offensively we didn't respond to it great. Cincinnati didn't as much, and we had a pretty good game. And then Pittsburgh came after us just like Tampa, and we responded a lot better. So if you don't respond to pressure well, I mean, teams are going to keep doing it. But as a play caller and stuff, you like pressure because people are a lot more open. It's easier to get guys open, but you got to get rid of that ball, and they got to get open a lot faster.
All right.
Thanks, guys.